All right, so let's talk about Game 6. Now, there's like 9 minutes left in the fourth quarter. I'm gonna be honest. I'm not waiting for that. Actually, just 8 minutes now. But I was waiting to see if OKC would mount a comeback for their backups, just because why not? I mean, who knows? And that's not gonna happen. So let's talk about Game 6. So, this was a phenomenal. This was a phenomenal performance by the Indiana Pacers. There was a lot of questions coming into Game 5, coming into Game 6 of if they were going to be able to bounce back, which they certainly did. One thing I really liked was their ability to trap OKC and get them into turnovers. Right, it was the complete reversal of Game 1 before OKC fell to shit. Really, it was just Indiana's defense being so suffocating, whether it be due to the crowd being involved or just them having better strategies. I mean, I think they were being aggressive in my opinion early on in the game when they were fucking just not double team, but on the pick and roll coverage. They trapped Shea at the line, at the backcourt line, and basically forced him to turn over. And it was really just a long game for the Thunder in general. I think the only two players that really played well, honestly, in this game were Jalen Williams and Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, or SGA, excuse me. Other than that, I thought Chet Holmgren, he played fine defensively, but had a shit offensive game. His shot just looks weird, man. I don't know what it is. Hartenstein, I mean, yeah, he's good at the rim, but he ended up getting replaced by Caruso in the second half, who I don't think did much either, to be honest. I think Hartenstein just became a liability out there, to be honest, because on some of the pick and roll coverages that I was seeing, the Pacers said fuck Hartenstein. I can't recall if they've been doing this the entire series. They said, okay, fuck Hartenstein, let's just get you into a turnover mix, and that was what OKC was able, that was how. I'm having so many stutters today, Jesus. But was how Indiana was able to get a lot of their turnovers, right? It's just by trapping, throwing OKC off their game, and that's what we saw in Game 6. Lou Dort, shit game. I don't think I have much else to say. Kenrich Williams, I thought he had an alright game. Aaron Wiggins played some decent Aaron Wiggins minutes. Casey Wallace, he played decent Casey Wallace minutes. It wasn't like the end all be all with them. They just kept the game steady. And then Alex Caruso didn't really do much. Made an impact defensively, I feel like, especially on some of the TJ McConnell shots, but just wasn't there. So it's going to be interesting who the Thunder go with in Game 7 as their fifth guy. And see if they go small or they just stick with Hartenstein and just figure some things out, which will be interesting once Game 7 goes around, which that's going to be fucking fun to watch. Well, let's talk about the Pacers, right? First of all, I'm going to compliment the entire team who was in the game for pretty much the majority of the time, right? First of all, I got to start off by giving my flowers to Tyrese Haliburton. Despite him being injured, it looked like it bothered him during the first part of the quarter. And looking at the Game 5, he doesn't necessarily have to be like involved in everything. He just needs to be able to he's one of those guys where even though he has 14 points, he's still contributing, right? And I think we saw that a lot during this game. I mean the fucking pass to Siakam, the no looker, man. I mean the confidence to do that is insane. But I think Haliburton concerned his ankle injury. Once he started getting into that groove where it just felt like his normal self, he felt just fine. Obviously, in Game 7, we're going to see with the energy going in OKC's favor, the crowd, and more specifically, and if the Pacers are going to be able to get into that groove or not. How is that going to affect Haliburton and his ankle? Is he going to be able to thrive, or is he going to be stuck and basically be... How do I say this? Basically be the target of every single OKC pick and roll, which I expect if Haliburton's ankle does get worse, or if this performance like a one-off with how his ankle is, they're going to target him. Nembhard played phenomenal tonight. I thought his defense was exceptional. I thought his offense was fantastic. When Indiana needed a bucket, he was there the entire time. Even though Miles Turner didn't play well, offensively, I still felt he did it just fine defensively. Aaron Nesmith made shots when he needed to, and then Pascal Siakam, he had a great game. Um, he was just basically everywhere tonight, so fair play to him. Next, let's go with TJ McConnell again. Great TJ McConnell minutes off this bench. In Game 7, he's going to be a huge difference maker in this series. In Game 7, if Halliburton cannot get going like he did not in Game 5, TJ McConnell is going to have to step up in more ways than not. If the Pacers want to win Game 7, it's going to ride a lot on TJ McConnell's shoulders because he is the energy. He to me is like the Energizer Bunny from those, like, I forget what commercials they are, but it's the Energizer Bunny, if you know what I mean. That makes sense, right? And he just fucking is able to galvanize the entire team. I think his run, I think it was because of the run he went on. I think in the second quarter, I believe, or the end of the first. Like, let me Mick Connell. He only entered the game, so it had to be second quarter, right? Like, let me look this up. Yeah, so he just goes in, does his thing, gets steals, everything like that. He just comes in and just dominates the game, and then gets subbed off, obviously, at the end of his 5-minute shift. But yeah, TJ McConnell played great tonight. I also think Ben Shepherd played really great, well defensively, especially his half-court shot. That's just fucking ridiculous. But he played really well. Bennedict Mathurin didn't really play that much. I do wonder if it was just due to a strategic strategy of him playing less, just because they wanted the offense to flow better. I will have to look at that probably Saturday before Game 7. I also have to get an NBA mock draft out because of all the Ace Bailey shit before Wednesday. But yeah, man. I mean, I don't know what I'm talking about. One final thing before I'm gonna go over a couple things after I go after Tony Bradley based off my notes. But Tony Bradley, he played well in his minutes, I thought. He handled Hartenstein just fine. Got his bucket. Felt like he was a good energizer off the bench. So shout out to Tony Bradley for that. Now, one thing I do have a question about is that although Jalen Williams and Chet Holmgren play fantastic, not fantastic, they play good, right? They didn't play great, but they played good, right? And I don't think they're the reason why they lost this game, despite the assist, right? I just think it just comes down to the game plan at the end of the day. I mean, it is what it is. But my question going into this Game 7 is number one, how are the Thunder going to respond? Is this going to be Minnesota Game 3 all over again? And B, is Indiana able to take this momentum, make the necessary adjustments needed, right? Because OKC is probably going to make adjustments to all the traps that the Pacers are doing. I think what's really going to be key in this game, in Game 7 on Sunday, is do the Pacers have an adjustment if OKC strategy against the traps and everything the Pacers were doing doesn't work, or does work. If they have a counter to the OKC counter in Game 7, I do wonder how it will go, because if the Pacers do have that counter ready to go, which I think Rick Carlisle probably will. I just think he's way too experienced not to do that in this situation. Who knows what's going to happen in Game 7, right? Obviously, the Pacers have won one game in Oklahoma, right? Or Oklahoma City, excuse me. But I don't know, man. This series is a toss-up. I mean, if Indiana win this, man, it's going to be insane, especially after the Game 4 choke, but yeah. They're going to need... OKC's going to need Chet and... Not Chet. They're going to need him anyway. He needs to stop shooting shit sometimes. But Jalen and Shea are going to have to play exceptionally if OKC wants to win this. And then Indiana needs to just fucking convert all of this momentum into Game 7. Because if they're able to do that, who knows? I don't know what's going to happen in Game 7. We're either going to get a Tyrese Halliburton moment, or we're going to get an SGA moment. Or someone else's moment. Maybe TJ McConnell just makes the game-winning shot. Who knows? But we got Game 7 on Sunday. I'm probably gonna have to release a couple of YouTube videos. I might make an Ace Bailey video later, although I don't really know. But yeah, I mean, if there's anything else, um, anything else I know, or anything else that comes out, like if fucking KD gets traded to the Spurs on tomorrow, I'll probably have to make a video on that after I get home from work and after the gym and everything like that. Maybe I'll make it in my car. Who knows? But yeah, let's see what happens in Game 7.